did you know that you can use things like Bondo and Caulk and still make them look like real wood? Let me show you. So when I replaced my patio posts, I had to actually drill out some of the screws that were impossible to be removed, and in order to fill these holes, I'm using Bondo, but I still want it to look like it's actual cedar wood. So first I apply my Bondo and then I sand it smooth, and then over the top of the smooth filler, I paint on liquid wood. And liquid wood has actual real particles of wood inside it so that you can stain it, which is really nice. I'm putting on just one coat because I don't need this to look perfect because it's really high up in the air, but if you do want this to look really nice, you can even carve grain pattern into the Bondo. You can add multiple layers of liquid wood until you get it to just the right finish. But for me, I'm putting on just one layer of the liquid wood, letting that dry completely, and then putting on a non-penetrating stain. And that's important because penetrating stains will not work with liquid wood. I used my favorite water-based stain in the color Antique Walnut, and that matched really well with the cedar. What I did to help feather it out is that I applied one coat. I used a sponge to kind of blend it out into the surrounding wood, and then I applied it even thicker on with the second coat. And if you've ever blended makeup before, then you're at an advantage because this is pretty similar. Once you let the stain dry, it still does need to be sealed for durability, so I just used a matte spray paint enamel, sprayed on a couple coats of that, and while I know mine doesn't look that great up close, it doesn't really need to be because from down below it looks perfect. And this is not just for Bondo, it's also for caulk. So I had to put a baseboard on a 100-plus-year-old wood wall that had lots of wonky curves, and I had to make a really thick caulk line. But it just looked really funky, and I wanted to have that nice straight line at the baseboard, so I decided to paint over the caulk line with the liquid wood. Same thing as before, you just paint on this liquid wood, you let it dry completely, and then I went over it with water-based stain. And since this was a bit darker of a wall, I used the same mixture I used to stain the wall, which was Antique Walnut and Dark Walnut of my favorite water-based stain. Then I just let that dry, sealed it, and here is what that straight, beautiful line looks like now. So hopefully this is helpful to you. Just know if you do need to end up filling something or putting caulk on something that you want to look like wood, you can still make it happen.